Why hello there, horror fans. October is upon us, and you know what that means. It's time for all things spooky, creepy, and downright terrifying. We're resurrecting our annual Screams to Stream and diving into the best horror movies you can find on your favorite streaming services. And today, we're taking a look at the best horror films on Max. So whether you're a fan of classic chills or looking for something fresh and freaky, we've got you covered. First up, Salem's Lot, hitting Max on October 3rd. This is a brand new adaptation of Stephen King's terrifying novel and has been given 2 thumbs up from the man himself. Starring Lewis Pullman, this version promises a fresh, chilling take on the story of a small town slowly overtaken by vampires. Next, we've got Malignant, a newer addition to the horror scene, but already a cult favorite. Directed by James Wan, who brought us The Conjuring and Insidious, this one is a wild ride that's not quite like anything you've ever seen before. It starts off like your typical haunted house flick, but trust me, things turn backwards quickly. It's got a crazy twist, tons of gore, and some seriously bonkers scenes. If you're in the mood for some bizarre B-movie horror, give this one a go. For some Halloween-themed fun, check out Trick or Treat. This anthology film weaves together 4 tales of terror, all set on Halloween night, with plenty of scares, dark humor, and a little bit of everything from werewolves to serial killers. It's one of those movies that really captures the spirit of Halloween, so much so that fans are still holding their breath for a sequel even over 15 years later. And of course, what's October without a little bit of Evil Dead? Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise are both available on Max, offering a double feature of demonic mayhem. While the original Evil Dead is a cult classic, the remake is like a 2-hour nightmare with over-the-top gore that'll make even the toughest a little queasy. Meanwhile, Evil Dead Rise brings a fresh take on the franchise, taking the horror out of the cabin and into a city apartment with more blood, more guts, and some seriously intense moments. It's a perfect combo for anyone looking for a horror marathon. Moving on, we've got Sinister. This one's for those of you who love a good haunted house story with a psychological twist. Starring Ethan Hawke as a true crime writer who moves his family into a house with a very dark past. Sinister is filled with genuinely creepy moments, eerie found footage, and one of the most unsettling soundtracks in horror ever. Next is The Strangers, a must-watch for fans of home invasion horror, inspired by true events, very loosely, but the film is a masterclass in suspense. It's simple. A couple in a secluded house is terrorized by masked strangers, but the execution is flawless, which I can't say that about the remake. And finally, no horror list should be complete without The Shining, and that's on Max as well. Directed by Stanley Kubrick and based on the Stephen King novel, this classic is legendary for a reason. From Jack Nicholson's unforgettable performance to the iconic Overlook Hotel setting, The Shining is a masterpiece of psychological horror. And that's it for this episode of Screams to Stream. Let me know in the comments which of these films you're most excited to watch, or if there's another horror flick on Max you think should have made the list. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next episode of Screams to Stream.